Hello, Happy New Year. It's a bit of a strange new year for everybody, isn't it? Because we're not back at school like we thought we were going to be, or most of you aren't. But instead, everybody's having to stay at home again. So whilst we all thought that we were going to be seeing you in school, it's a little bit different again. And I hope you're all well. I hope you're all doing everything at home, and I hope you're working really hard with your teachers. And certainly when I've spoken to your teachers, when they've sent me messages and emailed me and things, they've said how brilliant you're all being, which is really, really good to hear. And I caught a couple of Google Meets with people yesterday. I walked into one of the classrooms and Mr. Babington was reading a story to the class, and it was really lovely to see so many people on the call enjoying listening to the story. So that was really, really good. So we miss you all lots. It'd be lovely to see you in school, but I'm sure you're being absolutely amazing. It's really, really important that everybody stays at home at the moment so that we have less and less chance of passing on the COVID virus, the coronavirus. So what we're going to do today in our assembly is just talk a little bit about some of those things, about how we're thinking and how we're feeling at the moment. Okay, so let's see if I can share my screen with you. And here we go. So in school, we've been doing our Heartsmart high five, and we're going to look at the second of the Heartsmart high five. Okay, so you've done the first one, which was about letting love in and feeling good about yourself and not saying those things to yourself that aren't true. Sometimes it's easy to say to ourselves, oh, I'm really stupid because I can't do this, but you're not. It's not true. It's just your head trying to kid you. Okay, so that was about letting love in. This one is too much selfie isn't healthy. Okay, so have a look at what Boris the robot is doing. That's right, he's taking a photo of himself. Okay, now it's not about when you pick up your phone and go with your funny face and take your selfie. It's not about that. It's about yourself. That's the important thing. It's about thinking about other people and not thinking about yourself. Okay, let's have a think about how many other people there are to think about. That is the world. That's the planet Earth. Have a guess. Well, let's see where we are first of all. There we are. That's us. If you look out of your window now, there might be a giant arrow in the sky looking down at you. Right. Have a guess how many people there are in the world. If you've got some spare time, go out and count them, but keep 2 meters away and don't go out of your local area. So have a guess. Here's a rough answer. Right, this was right in 2018. So in 2018, there was approximately, ready, 7,632,819,325 people. And you know what? That's not right anymore, because more people have been born since then. More people have died since then. And I'll give you a little bit of really, really lovely news. If you look at get your mum and dad to show you the newsletter today, there is a photo in the newsletter of somebody who's been born since that slide, and it is actually Mrs. Crawford's daughter called Elsie. So some really, really lovely news. On Boxing Day, just after Christmas Day, Mrs. Crawford had a daughter, a girl called Elsie, which is really, really lovely to hear. And there's a photo in the newsletter so you can have a look. So there's 7.6 billion people roughly in the world. And being Heartsmart means that we're thinking about other people, we're listening to other people and getting along with other people. So the idea of too much selfie but not being healthy is sometimes we're doing good for other people, things that they can't do for themselves. And there is a Bible story that you might know called the Good Samaritan. So in the story of the Good Samaritan, Jesus told a story about a Jewish man walking along a road. He was coming from Jerusalem and heading to Jericho, which was a full day or two of walking. The road was rocky and there were small hills all around. The man was just humming along to himself and enjoying the nice day when suddenly a group of men jumped out from behind a hill. They took all of his belongings, they tore off most of his clothes. They didn't want him to follow them, so they beat him up very badly, and they left him lying and bleeding on the side of the road. Now, a few minutes later, a priest, a holy man, was walking down the same path and noticed the man lying on the side of the road. And do you know what he did? You'd think he would run over and help the man. Instead, he crossed the road, walked on the other side, and acted like he didn't see him. And about an hour or so later, another man called a Levite was walking down the road. And Levites were people who helped the priests, helped the holy men with their work. He'd probably help the man, wouldn't he? But do you know what he did? He slowed down. He walked a little closer, but then kept walking without helping him at all. Now, you might be thinking that maybe the man lying by the side of the road looked like he was like resting or something. And that's why the priest and Levite didn't stop to help. The trouble is, it was easy to tell he was badly hurt. He was bleeding. He got most of his clothes ripped off him. He was bruised. He was hardly breathing. And just a few minutes later, another man came walking by. He was a Samaritan. Now, one thing you should know about Samaritans is that Jews didn't like them. Jews usually didn't treat Samaritans very well, so they never got along. The man who was dying on the road was a Jew. So what did you think the Samaritan did? You'd think he would walk by. You'd think maybe he would even laugh at the man. But as soon as he saw the man, he went over to him. He felt compassion for him. He put bandages on his wounds. He poured oil and wine, which were quite expensive on the wounds, to stop them from getting worse. Then he lifted the man on his own donkey and took him to a hotel to care of him. The next day, the Samaritan took out enough money so the man could stay at the hotel until he was well enough to leave. He paid the man at the front desk and asked him to take care of the man. If he wasn't better after about 2 months, the Samaritan would come back and pay for any extra cost. Now, after Jesus finished telling the story, he asked, which of the 3 men do you think was a neighbor to the man who was left beaten on the side of the road? And the man who talked to Jesus at the beginning said, the one who had compassion and helped him. And Jesus said, go and do the same. Now, we have opportunities every day to stop and help other people, but there are reasons why we don't. Why do you think that might be? Why do you think we don't help other people? Okay, there are 3 main reasons. One is need. We all need things to live, and sometimes we feel like we need to have other things, nice things like sweets and toys and nice time with people. And sometimes we can fall into this trap of thinking we've got to have a lot of something before we can give it away. Okay, but we don't have to have too much. We can always think of ways to share. So the next one, talked about need, and now there's greed. So sometimes we want to look after ourselves so much, and we have to train our heart, we train our heart to block out other people, and we get stuck in a way of thinking about how we can get more of something or hold on to what we've got because we might be scared we'll run out of sweets or scared we'll run out of toys. And if we struggle with this, we can challenge ourselves to think about the other person, how they might be feeling. If we share or help others, how does that feel for them? And how does that make us feel? And the next one is speed. We're always busy. There's always lots to do. When we get home, we might rush to the TV or the Xbox. When we're hungry, we rush to the fridge or the front of the queue at lunch. When we rush, we're likely to miss out a chance to help someone. And we're so busy thinking about what's going on in our world that we don't see someone in need of our help or our friendship. So if we decide to do things a tiny bit slower, we can look out for opportunities to be unselfish and to ask the question, what can I do for you? And that will actually make us happy. So this is really important. There's another way to live, and it's the way of the Good Samaritan from the story. When we live unselfish, we can help others, and we're helping us, helping ourselves to feel good as well. And this is the important thing for right now, because when we think about this, okay, when we think about all of this, we look at it and go, do you know what? I'm stuck at home. Why on earth is this relevant? Mr. Boot, you silly man, why are you telling us all about this? Well, have a think. Why is this relevant to us right now? Why is this important right now? See if you can tell somebody you've got at home, tell a grown-up who's watching it with you, tell your teacher if you're in class. What do you think? Well, this is important right now because sometimes we can think about ourselves and I can say, this is awful. I'm stuck and we're in lockdown and I'm missing all these children and I'm so sad because I can't see all of these children in school and I'm so awful. But it's not about me. I'm doing this so that I can talk to you guys to see if I can help you guys feel a little bit better about things. And your teaching assistants in school are working really hard to help you guys. They're helping other people. Your teachers are there at home and they're teaching their lessons and talking to you in Google Classroom to make you guys feel better and help you learn. We're helping other people. You might need to help other people and do other things. You might be feeling a little bit fed up at home. You might be feeling a little bit like it's unfair. You can't go and play football in the park. You can't see your mates in school. And it's easy to think, me. I'm really sad. It's all awful. But actually, let's think about other people. So you are living with your families. How can you help your families? How can you help mums and dads? I bet that in the last couple of days, mums or dads or whoever you live with have said to you, look, could you help tidy up a bit, please? Or could you help do the dishes? Or could you take the dog out? Or could you help get this washing out of the washing machine and do these jobs at home? And if you can help, you might be thinking, no, I've got to spend time on the Xbox. I've got to spend time doing this. I've got to spend time with my Lego. No, you don't. You can spend time helping because actually you're part of a team at home. There's lots of people in different teams. So I am in a team at school with all the other staff, all the other teachers. We're working as a big team to help you guys. You are in a class team. You might be in rabbits or in badgers or in woodpeckers or spiders. And when you do your work in school, you are part of that school team. If you do your work at home, you are part of that class team, doing all of your work together. If you were one of those people that I was talking about earlier who was listening to Mr. Babington, then you are part of that team and you have a role to play when Mr. Babington's reading his story. You have to make sure your microphone's off and you are quiet and you're listening. Pay attention because it's a really good story. And at home, you are part of a family team. You are part of that team with your family. And as part of the team, we've all got jobs to do. Okay, so at home, I want to hear all about you guys doing things with your families. How are you helping out as part of your family team so that you are not being selfie? Okay, you are being unselfie or unselfish, really, and thinking about other people. So that means helping mum and dad, helping the people you're living with, helping them do jobs, or even not necessarily helping them do jobs, but doing things straight away when they ask. Sometimes the adults you live with might ask you to do something and you might go, oh God, why? I don't want to do that. Because you might not understand. Then mums or dads might say, right, come on, it's bedtime. And you don't understand why it's bedtime, but you have to trust your grown up and you have to do as you're told. So that's what I want to hear you guys doing, please. Mums and dads, if you're watching this, I would like you to email me. I would like you to tell me when your children have been amazing, when your children have done as they've asked, so that I can reply and I can say, oh, well done, Fred, or well done, Bob. You've been absolutely brilliant. Okay, so boys and girls, you're going to be amazing for mums and dads. And mums and dads are going to tell me when you've been amazing, and I'll be able to say, well done, that's great. Okay, there's your challenge for today. Right, it's Friday today, so that means that tomorrow it's Saturday, and you've got a weekend, and there's no school, so you can help out mums and dads and do all those lovely things. Maybe go for a nice walk together, or go for a run or a bike ride. Look after yourselves, wrap up really warm because it's chilly out there. I will see you for another assembly on Monday. Bye-bye.